Oh no, that sounds killer. Cool. Well, you can tell Tom Petty that I'll call him back when I want to call him back. Nelson? Man, I'm not hanging out with Willie anymore. He's nothing but trouble. All right. Whoa! What's going on, guys? Jimmy Pemberton here. Welcome to video number 3 on how to prepare for the recording studio. For videos 1 and 2, you can run on over to Vater's YouTube channel. Today we're in Providence, Rhode Island at Strange Ways Recording. We'll be hanging with owner and producer Mike Poorman. Let's freaking do it, huh? All right, so now you've arrived at the studio nice and early. You're gonna wanna walk in there and bring your positive attitude with you. Now, when you first get in, you're gonna wanna introduce yourself to everyone. I mean, the producer, fellow musicians, the intern, everybody. Now, I know it's gonna be kind of tough to keep track of everyone's name, but the better job that you can do of that, kind of the better experience you'll have. You don't have to throw things out like, yo, chief, hey, bud, hey, pal, hey, kid, hey, guy. You don't have to do any of that, and it's just gonna make it a little bit easier. Plus, you're making new friends, and I can't tell you how many sessions I've done where then I'm hitting the guys up online and just, you know, keeping in contact. All right, so now I'm loaded in. You can see today I have with me my cymbals, my drum pedal, throne, sticks, and of course my snacks. Along with those snacks, I got some high quality H2O to wash it down and some drum charts so that I know what I'm doing on these songs. Now as you're getting set up, the big thing that you're gonna wanna keep in mind is staying comfortable. Now when I first went in the studio, I was terrified. As the engineer's coming in, setting up the mics, he's like, oh, is your setup good? You good? And I just told him, yeah. I mean, I was just so nervous to move anything that I didn't. As the day went on, I paid for that, and it was definitely a struggle for me. I had, you know, the ride over here, Tom's all weird. So don't do that to yourself. If this is your first time in the studio, you know, put that on your plan, so to speak. You're going in there to give a great performance. Prior to that, you're gonna go in there and make your setup so comfortable. When you have that kind of in line as your priorities, it's gonna help you perform and just make the day a lot smoother for you, a lot more enjoyable. So again, as you're getting set up, you're setting up for comfort. You know, you don't need to look cool like your favorite drummers, because we've all done that. It's all about what feels right to you. So now you're gonna start getting sounds. Now during this process, the producer or engineer is gonna be behind the board. You're gonna have these pretty little headphones on you. And he's gonna start with each drum, probably starting with the bass drum. Occasionally they start with the snare, but 9 times out of 10, it's the bass drum. And he's gonna ask you to start hitting it. Now, you don't need to do anything fancy and show your crazy, you know, drum pedal skills or anything. He'll probably ask for something like quarter notes, and all he's really looking for is consistent hits at the loudest volume that you will be playing on. So once each drum is sounding good, you'll then move on to the cymbals. You'll start hitting those individually, and then you're gonna be asked to play the entire kit. Now again, no need to get fancy, show off your hot licks or any of that. This, you just wanna keep it nice and simple. You wanna hit hard, hit solid, and make sure that you're giving the producer or engineer what they need in the control room. This process can often take quite a bit of time.
A little bit more of that, Tom. Keep it going. We're almost there. Yeah, I'm still tweaking over here. Keep it going. You're doing great, buddy. A little more, Tom.
Now, as you're playing around the kit, remember you could be there a while, so you don't want to be flying around and burn yourself out. You want to have all that energy ready for when you start doing the takes on the tracks. So now for the part we've all been waiting for, it's time to get in there and start doing some tracking. Now you're gonna enter with the same positive attitude that you've had since the beginning, and you're also gonna wanna come in there with a real teamwork mentality. So no matter if you're working with the band all around you, or if it's just you one-on-one with the producer or engineer, keeping that team vibe is very important. It's gonna help you just do better work all the way around, and you're gonna get a better take and better recording because of it.
Can't wait to get to know ya. A modern day John Travolta. So much better than the rest, and I can't wait to get to show ya.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Mike Poorman. I'm a producer based out of Providence, Rhode Island. I've worked with bands like The Deer Hunter, Therefore I Am, Early Morning Blues, which is Brian from Boys Like Girls, Kylie Evans, Jer Coons. I'm also a drummer myself. I used to play drums in a band called Hot Rod Circuit, and I also currently play in a band from Providence called The Tower and the Fool. Key tips that make a session go the smoothest, or things that I look for in a drummer that make my job and their job the easiest out of a session is, being prepared, knowing all the songs. That's a given, obviously. I always try to have the drummer practice to a click track at least for the first, 2 or 3 months before they come in, as much as they possibly can. I suggest that the band actually practices with the drummer playing to the click. Setting your own tempos and getting comfortable with those before you come into the studio is always a really good idea. We might change things every now and again, a couple beats here and there, but as long as you're in the ballpark, that always makes things go a lot smoother. Obviously, the studio environment is fun, but it's also a place to be professional. I feel like when bands come in and are super prepared and are ready to work, that's the best. I like to make it a fun environment and also laid back, but when it's time to work, it's time to work. And I expect, usually, and I'm sure most producers expect 110% out of everybody in the band, and especially the drummer, because the songs are built around the drums. What always makes me want to work with people again totally has nothing to do with their music. I mean, if we have a good time and it goes well and they're fun and they're prepared and they know what they like and what they don't like, and I don't know, it's just the overall vibe is something that I really care about totally. I mean, I get people in here ranging from beginners to total professional touring bands, and that makes absolutely no difference. The hang is important, and getting good solid work done is important. If you're bringing your own equipment to the studio, make sure everything's in working order. No cracked cymbals, new heads on the drums, not missing any lugs. That kind of stuff I'm sure people can pick up along the way, but just have things in good working order. You don't have to probably worry about the tuning so much. I'm sure the producer or somebody there can tune the drums. I like to try to create a team mentality at the studio, and I feel like the session goes a lot smoother if band members are open to constructive criticism and critique, and to changing the arrangements and whatnot, either from my ideas or from other band members' ideas. I feel like you never really know where the song's going to go and what direction you could take the song. I mean, having an outside ear often creates new ideas and creates new directions, so I feel like that often strengthens the experience and strengthens the song structures.
All right, so that wraps up on how to prepare for the recording studio. We're going to be doing a follow-up video to answer any of the questions you guys may have that we didn't already answer in the series. You can hit me up on Facebook or at jimmypemberton.com. Also, don't forget to go on over to vater.com and have some fun there. Woo!